There is an invisible tax on your life. You pay for it with your ideas left unspoken, the outfits you never wear, and the quiet compromises you make every single day. This tax is levied by one thing: your fear of their opinion. But what if I told you their opinion of you is none of your business, and that by trying to manage it, you are abandoning the one person you were meant to be? You are not alone in this. That anxious feeling before you post a picture, the dread of a social gathering, the constant editing of your personality to fit in, it's a universal human experience, but it's also a cage. The promise of this video is simple: to give you the key. We're going to dismantle the fear of judgment piece by piece using a powerful 3-step framework. This isn't about building a thick skin. It's about realizing you were never meant to wear armor in the first place. Stay until the end, because the third step is the most profound. It's a single shift in perspective that will make the opinions of others feel small, distant, and utterly irrelevant to your mission. This is your path to emotional and creative freedom. Let's name the cost. What is this fear actually stealing from you? It steals your energy. The mental RAM you waste replaying conversations and imagining judgments is energy you don't have for your passions, your relationships, your purpose. It forces you to wear a mask, and the longer you wear it, the harder it is to remember what your own face looks like. You become a tenant in the house of your own life, waiting for the landlord, public opinion, to give you permission to hang a picture. And worst of all, it creates a phantom audience, a group of people whose approval you desperately seek, even though they are barely thinking about you at all. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, we love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Isn't that a tragic contradiction? The need is not to become someone who doesn't care. The need is to become someone who cares more about something else, something real, something that is truly yours. The first step to freedom is a brutal and liberating dose of reality. It's called the spotlight effect. This is the psychological phenomenon where we drastically overestimate how much people notice, judge, and remember about us. You walk into a room late and you feel every eye burning into you. You have a stain on your shirt and you're convinced it's all anyone can see. Here's the truth: you are an extra in everyone else's movie. Think about the last embarrassing thing you saw someone else do. Maybe they tripped on the sidewalk. How long did you think about it? A few seconds? Maybe you chuckled and moved on with your life. You probably forgot about it entirely by lunchtime. Now, imagine that person spent the rest of the day consumed with shame, replaying that trip in their mind, convinced that you were still thinking about it. You'd think they were crazy, right? Because you have your own life, your own problems, your own insecurities to manage. The philosopher Epictetus, a man who knew about true hardship as a slave, put it perfectly. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said about you, but answer, "He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone." He's making a joke, but he's making a point. They don't know the half of it, and they're not paying that much attention anyway. The painful truth that will set you free: nobody is thinking about you as much as you are. Now, okay, so they're not watching you as much as you think, but the feeling of being judged is still real. So step 2 is about redirecting your focus. It's a concept popularized by Warren Buffett, who said the key to success is to play to an internal scoreboard, not an external scoreboard. Right now, you are living for the external scoreboard: the likes, the compliments, the approving nods. The problem is, you don't control that scoreboard. Other people are constantly changing the rules and the score. It's a game you can never win. The internal scoreboard is about one simple question: am I living in alignment with my own values? Imagine an artist. If she paints for the external scoreboard, for gallery owners, critics, and trends, she will be tossed by every wave of opinion. She will be a leaf in the wind, constantly anxious and inauthentic. But if she paints for her internal scoreboard, for her own standard of beauty, truth, and technical mastery, then her work becomes an expression of her soul, A critic's review might be a data point, but it cannot shake her core. Her fulfillment comes from the act of creation itself, from meeting her own standards. You're in a meeting and you have a controversial idea. The external scoreboard mindset says, if I speak up, will they think I'm stupid? Will he disagree? I should stay quiet. You are outsourcing your voice. The internal scoreboard mindset asks, is this idea valuable to the project? Does it align with my role to contribute? Do I believe in it? If the answer is yes, you speak. The outcome, whether it's accepted or rejected, is feedback, not a verdict on your worth. Stop reading the reviews and start writing the book of your life. You've realized they're not paying much attention, and you've started playing for your own scoreboard. Now for the final, most liberating step, the climax, the one that changes everything. Here is the secret. Every judgmental opinion is a confession. When someone judges you, they are not handing down objective truth from a mountain. They are projecting their own beliefs, their own insecurities, their own limitations onto you. Their opinion is a window into their soul, not a mirror of yours. The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius faced constant criticism, betrayal, and gossip from senators and rivals. He could have spent his life consumed by it. Instead, he wrote this to himself: when you are offended by any man's fault, immediately turn to yourself and reflect in what way you too have erred. And even more powerfully, he practiced seeing the humanity in his critics. He'd remind himself that the person slandering him is doing so out of ignorance, believing it to be the right thing to do. He saw their judgment as a symptom of their own inner struggle. Someone says, "You're so selfish for pursuing your dream job." The old you would be wounded, defensive. The new you, armed with this secret, hears, "I am too afraid to pursue my own dreams, and your courage makes me uncomfortable with my own inaction." Someone scoffs, "That's a weird hobby." You now hear, "I am a prisoner to conventionality and fear standing out." Their judgment is their story, their movie. You are just a temporary character in it. You don't have to accept the script they've written for you. So let's rebuild your reality from the ground up. First, you accept the spotlight effect. You are not the main character in anyone else's story. They're too busy starring in their own. Second, you switch to the internal scoreboard. Your worth is measured by your own values, your own integrity, your own effort, not by a fickle external meter you cannot control. And third, you learn the dirty secret. Every opinion is a reflection of the speaker's inner world. It's data, not destiny. This is how you detach, not by building walls, but by realizing the arrows of opinion were never sharp enough to pierce you in the first place. You were just believing they were. So let's rebuild your reality from the ground up. First, you accept the spotlight effect fallacy. You are not the main character in anyone else's story. They're too busy starring in their own. Second, you switch to the internal scoreboard. Your worth is measured by your own values, your own integrity, your own effort, not by a fickle external meter you cannot control. And third, you learn the dirty secret. Every opinion is a reflection of the speaker's inner world. It's data, not destiny. This is how you detach, not by building walls, but by realizing the arrows of opinion were never sharp enough to pierce you in the first place. You were just believing they were. Freedom is a choice, and it starts now. You can close this video and go back to living for a phantom audience, or you can decide right here, right now, that your own opinion is the only one that gets a lifetime membership to the theater of your mind. If you're ready to choose freedom, then your journey continues here. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We are building a community of people who are done with the cage, and I want you with us. New videos every week to fuel your growth. Please give this video a like if it showed you a path forward. That small action tells YouTube this matters and helps me reach others who are still trapped. And this is important. Tell me in the comments, what is one small thing you will do this week to practice living for your internal scoreboard? Your commitment, written down, inspires everyone who reads it. Thank you for your time and your courage. Remember, the world is a noisy art critic, but you are the artist. Now go paint.